Number 11 says factor completely. So what's the difference between factoring something and factoring it completely? If it says to factor it completely, you can pull out a greatest common factor before you start to even do any of the factoring. I'm going to tell you that this is on the no calculator part, so you're not going to want to multiply large numbers like that and then find factors. Those numbers would be huge. So let's think, what is the largest number that we can pull out that divides 6, 54, and 540 evenly? So the greatest common factor of those numbers would be 6. So if I pull out a 6, what I'm left with inside is x squared plus 9x, because 9 times 6 is 54, minus 90. Now you're going to want to find factors of a negative 90 that add up to a positive 9. So with that, you know that your smaller number is going to have to be negative because the sum is positive. So we have negative 1 and 90. 2 divides 90 45 times. This puts us at a 43. 3 divides 90 30 times. That puts us at a 27. 4 does not divide it. 5 divides 90 16 times. That's going to put us at an 11. And 6 divides 90. If 2 and 3 divide it, 6 divides it. So 6 goes into 90 15 times, and that gives us a 9. So we have the factors that we want to use. So we have 6 times x squared minus 6x plus 15x minus 90. Keep this 6 in mind, and let's just deal with inside the parentheses. Let's go ahead and scoop. We're going to keep the 6 here, and from x squared minus 6x, the greatest common factor is x, and you're left with an x minus 6 on the inside. Remember that you have to have the same thing on the other side, so you have x minus 6. Let's pull out a 15. And what you have is 6 times x plus 15 times x minus 6. And that would be factored completely. If you want to use tic-tac-toe with this, keep your 6, all right? And let's go ahead, and we know that we've got x squared minus 90. This would be a negative 90x squared. Our factors were a negative 6x and a positive 15x. We want to find the greatest common factor of x squared and 15x, which is just going to be x. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 6 is a negative 6x. X times 15 is a 15x. 15 times a negative 6 is a negative 90. So we have an x plus 15 times an x minus 6, and then don't forget to bring that down. So you can do it using tic-tac-toe, just don't forget to bring what that greatest common factor was out. This next one should not be difficult at all. It's asking you to solve. It's already in factored form. So remember the zero product property. If something times something else equals 0, one of the two factors is 0. So you have 3x minus 5 equals 0, and x plus 4 equals 0. Add 5 to both sides. You have 3x equals 5. Got to get that x by itself. divide by 3, divide by 3. Do not worry about making it a decimal. It is 5/3, which is a rational number because it's a number that can be written as a fraction. You'll end up with a repeating decimal for this answer because the denominator is 3. So same thing here, subtract 4 from both sides, and you get x equals -4. This means if you were to graph this parabola, the zeros would be at -4 and approximately, well, not approximately, they would be at 1 2/3.